Welcome to the 180 podcast, brought to you by BTFU. Another week in rugby league. Rennie.
Never disappoints, Braith.
It doesn't. Plenty to talk about yet again. So much drama, the good, the bad, the ugly. Let's get to Rennie for the check-in.
Check-in. Before we check in, mate, I just want to give a quick shout-out.
Sorry.
It's Autism Week, mate. Autism Awareness Week. Just want to give a shout-out to my sister and everyone else who has someone in their life that might be suffering from autism. But, I just want to recognise that from tomorrow it's World Autism Awareness Day. So shout-out to you, sis. I see all the challenges you go through. We love our little nephew, JB Rain, so...
Nice. Well said. Is there anywhere you can donate or anything like that, or is it more putting your support behind?
No, just putting my support behind it. I will do something down the track, mate.
Okay.
I'm not too sure, but we'll figure it out.
All right, beautiful. What about the check-in? What did you do on the weekend?
Mate, can you believe I watched every game of football?
That was after his big game. I got you for life.
Oh, yeah, got you for life. You
forgot about
you
that.
Played footy. So this is a good one, actually.
This is bad, actually.
So for Unibet and got you for life, Rennie and Az had to go and play touch footy at halftime of the Manly Seagulls Roosters game.
Correct.
And just standard Rennie Matua. So he knew about this for weeks, if not months.
Yep.
And we get to the night, and I'm at dinner with a friend of mine and the kids, and the messages start flowing. Aaron's going to Rennie, you here yet? He's like, no. Rennie's sending me pictures of him at his house. So he hadn't even left the house. He's got to drive from East Gardens to Brookvale.
Yeah, they disclose where I live.
Oh, yeah, because everyone really cares. and you have to drive, and he's trying to get out. You were trying to get out. Oh, it's raining.
Mate, there was I checked the Weather Zone app and I thought this got to be called off for sure.
You were always going to try and get out of it.
I was always going to.
Like, I knew it from the start.
Yes.
He got there in the nick of time.
He got there.
No boots, no shorts. Nearly ran in a pair of tights.
How'd you go?
Well, Aaron, he actually got out of dummy half. He engaged the A defender. I skipped out on the B, tried to pass it inside to Paul
Momorovsky.
But
because he wasn't in boots, he slid. He's going short and he's just
the
slid
ball
in the
was
wet.
just there. It was kind of like...
It couldn't have been more.
It was kind of like the Bulldogs passing game at the moment. It was needed to be just here.
Low blow.
And then just a little tip inside and...
Nice. So that was early in the week. Did you do any rendezvous on the weekend?
No rendezvous, mate.
Big dog's got to eat, remember?
Fuck off your wet blanket.
Oh, he's in a mood today, I got to say. I'm looking forward to this podcast.
You're in a mood.
He's very insecure today. He's.
I don't think he's insecure. He's got the guns out.
He's got the guns out.
Yeah, I didn't.
Mate, what's this?
Oh, mate. Oh, yeah. It's
yeah.
House of Canvas. A couple of blokes slid into me DMs.
Thought you were having a seizure then.
They wanted it to, HAUS of Canvas, one word. They gave us a gift, both. We met them this morning.
Yeah.
You ungrateful bastard, but anyway.
You're very grateful. I'm looking forward to it. It's just the anticipation.
Oh,
it's building. Today. Drum roll, everyone.
I might have stripped it. Oh, there you go. 2004.
Ooh, give us the reveal, Ren. That's cool, huh?
There you go, mate.
That's unreal.
Whereabouts are you?
Front and centre on the trophy. Thanks, guys.
So, House of Canvas.
House of
Give
Canvas.
them a follow
Check
on
them out.
Instagram, HAUS of Canvas.
So they do, let's put it, I'll help you put it up, mate. You look like you're struggling a bit over there.
Mate, thanks.
There you go. It's not that hard. They do Jordan and all. They do a lot of sports stuff, don't they? Like
Yeah, they do a little bit of everything. So give them a follow, and if you want to,
that's a great point about that, though. I reckon that will still be there when you boys turn 50 as the last Bulldogs team to win the comp.
Oh, here we go.
Well, actually, Rennie said they were going to win the comp last week. I'm very emotional about
it's
it.
round 4.
Well, just have a look at the screen, Brave. What does it say?
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Very funny, Aaron.
Quick touch, because you were very strong on the Dogs last week, and within one game, I feel like you may have changed your mind.
No, I haven't. I've been very measured. I've taken the emotion out of my feeling towards the game on, what was it, the first game Saturday?
Whatever it was, against Newcastle, yeah.
Yes, so I'm very measured with my analysis today, Braith. I'm going to just take
So you still think they'll win the comp?
It's round 4.
We're not writing them off. I'm not either, right? But we'll get to all that.
You know what? Are we going to get to them?
Well, yeah, of course we are.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Let's not jump the gun here, just like
Okay.
you do.
I look forward to it.
I love jumping a gun.
Don't get too excited too soon, Rennie. You know, like your rendezvous tend to tell us about. All right, now, first of all, want to send our best wishes out to Tui Kamakamika.
Yes.
That was a shock, you know, and you never want to see any player get injured on the field, let alone have such a serious incident off it.
Crazy.
Not sure how he's doing. Everyone says he's doing well, but you never really know until, you know, they get a proper diagnosis and see how he recovers from it. But hopefully, mate, you're doing well and recover quickly from it, huh, Ren?
Absolutely,
It was a
from
bit
all
a
of us,
shock.
mate. Yeah, well, look, I think I saw a report yesterday that he was in the shower. His wife found him collapsed in the shower.
Yeah.
Got him to hospital. They had to go up through his groin, and they found a clot on his
clot in his
brain.
brain, yeah.
So very scary
Scary.
stuff. Scary stuff.
All right, let's get to the footy. Anthony Seibold, decision to sack him now. I mean, everyone's. Let's not.
I know it's
been murdered.
It's been murdered.
This, and that rightly so. It's a big story, right? We'll touch on it quickly and move on. But it was a shock to everyone. We'd been talking about it. So had everyone. But no one thought it was going to be after
shocked?
that game. I was shocked because I
It
was
was this early in the year. Is that what your shock is?
I was more shocked with not this early in the year, but like after that game and within 24 hours,
Okay.
I was working on Friday Night Footy on Fox with Kieran Foz,
Yep.
and I got it on my phone, ran out, saw him taking a phone call.
Right.
He had no idea, so it caught him off guard. He was, as the night went on, we had a long shift on the two games back to back, and he was like, you could tell he wasn't himself because he was thinking, and he was genuinely thinking, do I even have a job now? Seibold employed me.
Right.
You know, he actually enjoyed his time under Siebes, although they hadn't had much success. And we were like just talking, mate. I said to him, you'll be sweet, mate. Like, honestly, whoever comes in is going to want you there. Like, you'll be an integral part of this team, this club moving forward. You're a club legend, all that. And then even as I left, I said, mate, good luck with the week. He was head coach within 12 hours, 24 hours. Like, but he a lot of people are saying surely he would have known. He didn't know. I genuinely witnessed it. He didn't know. He was as taken aback as anyone.
That'll just reinforce first of all, Foz, club legend, very intelligent. I listened to him on Fox, the way he speaks.
Yeah.
One of the top halves to ever play a game, right? I feel like it's more, and I say this respectfully, it was more of a PR move from the club, which is very smart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you want to drag something out of the players, imagine looking at Kieran Foran in your dressing room as your head coach.
Well,
you know, people underestimate the respect you have for a coach, right? Steve Folkes, for example, he wasn't someone who spoke to us too much, was he, Braith?
No.
But he fucking won every single preseason. Like, he beat us in everything. How can you not respect a man who's going to train as hard as you and then you're not going to put it in for him? Do the same thing on the field. Ricky Stewart, loved him playing footy, things like that.
Good comparison you make there with Kieran Foran and Steve Folkes, who was our coach, because not only were they hard trainers, but they were guys that had to work for everything. You know, like I know Folkes, he wasn't a natural, he's a back row, very different to Kieran, but had to work and train hard and just, you know, Kieran talks about it a lot, like throughout his career. He wasn't that naturally gifted, you know, fleet-footed, fast, talented half. He was that hard-hedged, deep into the line,
took a shot,
fucking taking shots and turned into a really, you know, a leader, you know, but also, you know, put his body on the line, you know. So that's who they respect. I think that's who the players do respect. I think it's like, whether it's a PR stunt or not, I still think it's the right decision right now.
Absolutely.
But we had a couple of players. I've spoken to a few of the Manly players, and I've got no doubt that Seibold lost the dressing room long ago.
That was my next thing.
He'd lost the dressing room long ago. Like it's you know, and I think Penn's probably, you know, definitely come back and spoken to the leaders there and the key players at the club and just thought, you know what, this is going nowhere. We need to end it straight away.
Can I elaborate more on that?
Yeah.
So if you look back, he had a succession plan to maybe go as GM or head of football, right? There's one red flag there.
Yeah.
So he didn't see a long-term vision as a coach for himself. DCE doesn't re-sign. They lose their last 4 games. They lose their first 4 games. The writing's on the wall, right?
Yeah.
You know, and it's not really so much a shock that he was going to lose his job. You know what I mean?
This is what the journos don't get it. Like this week, they've annoyed me a little bit because they give your opinion on the news part of it,
Yep.
and
We
if
spoke
you've
about this.
spoken to club members, but they go, well, we don't understand. Like, why was he under pressure? Why are you sacking him after 3? If the players don't respect you and you're playing a style that doesn't suit the team that they've got right now, and you're stubborn and you don't change it, and at the end of the day,
Spot on.
players can't stand you.
Spot on.
It's too bad. Then
on.
you can say, well, the players, it's up to them to perform, and that is true, and they've got to take responsibility. But there's also some players in that squad that have been under different coaches and been in rep teams and that know what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
So and we'll address a few of the journos this week with some of the things they've said or reacted to. Quick touch. Just on Manly, and we'll get to it in the preview, but a lot of times they do teams that lose a coach, they win the next week.
That's why I'm backing Manly.
You reckon it's a chance?
It happens a lot. When an interim coach comes in, they win the next week, maybe win the next couple. And just, who's the assistants? JD, right? Jimmy Dimmy?
Jimmy, yeah.
Yeah. So, look, he'll be doing a lot of the heavy lifting, but just
Jimmy's good around the group too.
yeah, but just to have someone like Kieran Foran standing there and you look him in the eye before a game, you know you don't want to let him down.
How do you think the halves feel, just feeling that he could probably lace up his boots and do a better job?
Yeah, I heard that. It's probably a good point, to be honest.
Like, seriously.
I reckon one thing you'll see this week because,
He's on the extended bench.
he might just run
we
down
see
from
a
the
captain
coach's
coach?
box. He's in the 20. Yeah. But the one thing you'll see, their game plan very much has been playing to their edges because they got speed on the edges and they haven't really gone through any team. I reckon that'll go out the door this week. Totally different game plan. I reckon you'll see the whole pack off the back fence.
They picked that young kid.
Yeah, they'll have the whole pack off the back fence, and then they'll be going to the edges in good field position. But I reckon that whole, like when they spread it and scored the first play, second play, whatever it was on the weekend, you won't see that. You just keep an eye on that. That won't happen.
Yep.
All right, quick touch on Willie Peters, our great mate Willie.
Yeah, Willie.
Congratulations,
Well done,
mate.
Willie. Well done to you, bro.
Thanks, mate.
That's awesome. I'll ask you the questions here. Like, sorry to interrupt. Was it?
Apology accepted.
I know you just like to take control of everything.
Yeah, well, I have to with you there.
Your wet blanket. Anyway.
Yeah, all right, Alan. Get to the fucking point. This is why I take control.
So-
You're still talking.
This is a podcast. It's discussion. It's not 360, mate. Relax.
Isn't it? Okay.
It's 180.
Yeah, I'd rather buzz than you.
How
any day.
hard was it for you yourselves to make the decision to go to PNG? Don't look over at him. Look at
Well,
me.
you just took a while. I nearly fell asleep while you were
Yeah,
asking.
sorry,
it.
mate.
It was a big decision. Like,
Yeah. Especially with the Manly thing coming up. and-
yeah. So, like, at the end of the day, I knew there was going to be a few options, but nothing's ever guaranteed.
Yeah.
So, and Willie's he's ready, and I've said that on the podcast and 360. So, I said to him, if Cowboys and Manly and PNG were an option right now, like you had all three to choose from, this was about 2 weeks ago, I said, which one would you pick? And mind you, bearing in mind that he met with Chemis over in Vegas, and had been extensive talks as to him being the head coach of PNG. So he himself had spoken to his wife, Kira, and in his own mind had looked at the opportunity and thought it'd be amazing to go and new franchise, a country that just idolises rugby league and their players and live and breathe it like it's their livelihood. To be able to do that and create a team there and be a part of that, be the head coach, was huge. And so in his mind, when I said that to him, he said, mate, PNG. I've spoken to the family. Don't care if the Cowboys and Manly come up. This is my job. I've had experience in building Hull KR from the ground up, building rosters and
He's got a blueprint.
being isolated, which in Hull KR you could say they are a bit isolated there.
Yep.
Being isolated, creating that family environment, and all that. So that was it for me. So I said, okay, I've got to get this done. And and regardless, of the other two that could possibly come up. So pretty much got the deal done after NRL 360 last Wednesday. I met Chemis. I said we'll meet in Coogee.
Yep.
Got down there and we had to be confidential about it because Peter didn't want to get out.
Coogie's a great spot.
Well, this is the thing.
That was like renting his date that time.
I've sprung you a few times in Coogee, actually.
Hang on. Which one?
Which one? Oh, sorry.
About 12 months ago or something.
Big dog's got to eat. Mate, I love it when he's walks past my house and he's trying to sneak a little early walk in with a Sheila. And I go to put rubbish out. And I just look up the top of my driveway and there's Rennie walking. And he looks at me and he goes, "Oh, shit." And then,
What are you doing here?
The timing of him driving up the fucking driveway, I was like,
put the biggest smile on my face.
That was a long time ago, by the way.
Yeah, it was actually.
Yeah.
But so anyway, we get down to Coogee. It's pumping on a Wednesday night at 8:30. It's like dead set pumping. I said, "Oh, mate, where are we going to meet?" I said, "At Porto's." He walks over to a Porto's and I'm like, "We can't do it here." We end up going over to Coogee Oval and sitting in the dark and he gets his laptop out and it was so sus. It was like, this is weird.
It sounds really good.
It was so weird. And anyway, then we're doing all the numbers and then we rang Willie and we nutted it out pretty much that night. And then but then the interesting thing was we kind of agreed to terms maybe on the Friday and then Seibold was sacked on the Saturday.
Okay.
No, Friday night he was sacked. So we hadn't signed the deal.
Yep.
So we'd agreed to terms, not signed it. And mate, you can backflip because you haven't signed it. So then I was getting a lot of phone calls and I had to check in with Willie again and go, "Mate,
are you sure about this?
Sure?" But he was, he was totally committed. And what I would say is, just to give people a bit of a heads up, is that they're talking to some quality players already. So I tend to think that they'll have a lot better team than Perth will have. A lot of guys want to experience it, you know.
I've been 6 times. I love it.
Yeah.
I actually love it, bro. Like, genuinely, I actually love the place.
Well, it's not just the money, right? The money's definitely a carrot and would be attractive to a lot of players. But it's also, like Willie said, the opportunity to go to a country where you're going to be a god and to change the lives of the whole country. Like, honestly, you win there, you not only are you put on a pedestal and you just like, but it's just being a part of a process of like making a country fucking
It's
happy.
not sugarcoated. It is a
Unless you go there, you don't know. But
you don't know. It's a struggling country, right?
Yeah.
You know, they do have a lot of resources and a lot of money there. But I mean, from the government down, whatever. But when you unite the PNG people through backing a team like the Chiefs, like that is fucking, would be incredible. Can you give me any inside information into what they're doing with accommodation and why?
Yeah, there's a hotel there that they're just going to.
The one we stayed at.
I don't know. I can't.
Remember it had a casino in it downstairs?
It did, eh?
You've got the worst memory.
Of shocking. And then I do remember one thing, the poker machine was an Adrian Lamb poker machine. Remember that? It's like they've already got a pokey named after Adrian Lamb.
Yeah.
There's only one pokey there, I think. It was just him.
Well, yeah.
And everyone was on the beetle nut. And then
we were.
You were saying yesterday, one night we were rooming together.
Well, that was scary because we'd heard all the worst stories. Yeah. We're in a compound, we're rooming together, and like it's a full gated community with security. 3 o'clock in the morning, we're getting a knock at the door. I'm thinking, fuck, that's it.
We're going to get eaten. No, because there is talk about the
up in
cannibals
the Highlands, mate, maybe.
Sorry. But yeah.
All they wanted was
what about when you play there? This is just stories for people that wouldn't be aware. But when they'd pick the Australian team, the Prime Minister's.
We were the first one to go.
Yeah, well, we were, and we went a couple of times. It was fun because we'd get on the piss back here in Sydney, and just it was the end of the season, so we'd rip in hard, and most of it was just getting on the plane, half cut. You get up there, but the whole idea of it was because AIDS is an epidemic up there.
Caramap.
On our jerseys, Australian jerseys, it's like wear a condom.
That's it.
I'm serious.
So we were promoting wearing connies, and it was Caramap.
Yes.
And I remember they took us to the jail.
Oh, mate.
So we went to the jail, and I go. So I'm trying to talk to like the screws and stuff, and I go, so like, what's this crew in for? And they're like, oh, that's just robbery. He's a triple murderer. They're all together. I'm sitting there just thinking, what the fuck's going on?
It was heavy.
But they just were like, they could not believe, like the NRL boys, like the Australian team were there. They were very respectful. And I'm not trying to downplay it. The country.
No.
It's a great country.
It's come a long way since then too.
Absolutely.
I'm not trying either. But what I'm saying is like, they would never like they look up to the rugby league players that much that no matter what, and if there is any concern around that over there, the security is incredible, but also they idolise the rugby league, so
they wouldn't go near.
They wouldn't go near them, but
all their families.
And again, we're talking about hearing stories and going over there, and like people often exaggerate like the stories about Papua New Guinea, but we were just fresh young blokes, just not knowing what was going on,
just chewing on beetle nut.
All right,
I've got a question. You mentioned some players, obviously. Yeah. Munster's got to be in question.
Yeah, that's common sense. Like,
obviously,
like Cameron nearly went to Dolphins. Didn't nearly went to Perth, but there was an option there. So he's getting to an age now where Melbourne. I don't know how much if Melbourne will pay him the money. He's taken unders to stay in Melbourne too his whole career, right? Because he's very loyal, wants to play there, wants to finish there. But the reality is like Melbourne, they're not going to offer him a big contract. They've got to be looking for halves themselves because they've only got Wishart at the moment as a backup half to Jerome and Cameron. And then Wishart's going to Perth next year. So, it's interesting. It's actually more interesting the story of what Melbourne are going to do in that department. They'll fight to keep Cameron, but it'll be on, I would assume, a lower end. They're not going to pay him the money he's been on, or maybe nowhere near what he can get over in somewhere like PNG. PNG, when the Perth stuff happened, I said to him, mate, you're off contract the year PNG start. So we're going to have that up our back pocket if you're interested in that. I believe that. And if you're the head of PNG Chiefs, like Chemis, and I know it from when I nearly went back to South, and I went, and South had just come back into the competition. You, as a player going to a new club that's just rebuilding again, you want to know that there's other players going, and you want to see the quality of those players to know if you're going to be competitive, right? Or to make that move, because it's such a big move to a new franchise. Definitely. So if Cameron goes there, he'll take 3 or 4 with him because players will want to follow him there, and it'll give him because Perth haven't been able to do it, land a big, really they haven't. Dolphins only sort of started getting those players like Farnworth and Hammer a few years in. No really franchise has just gone bang and got a big fish. So I think, for them, I would think, and imagine Papua New Guinea getting Munster as your captain for the first year. They'd go mad over that. I'm not saying nothing's happened, but I'm just talking to it like
common sense.
It's a fair chance that they'll be interested. Willie, Willie's obviously I manage Willie and Cameron. They were with each other on the Australian tour. Get along really well.
So you're saying just keep a real close eye on Coogee Oval.
Yeah.
Just I've heard some rumours about the whole Perth setup and Mal not having full control over his extended staff or recruitment and stuff. Will Willie have any of those obstacles that the NRL have put in place for for Perth?
Yeah, full transparency. Like because I was talking to Mal at that time. With Perth, there's a lot going on there. Like they're a bit of Mal didn't get to hire his own staff, And
when you say staff, like including assistant coaches,
he didn't employ assistant coaches.
Really?
The NRL did. So Ben Gardner.
Is Willie in this situation?
Well, this is my point, I've spoken to Willie about it, and Chemis, I've touched on it with him. Willie needs to have input on his staff, like it's imperative. And if anyone who makes that decision or thinks they don't has no idea, So I know the NRL, want to have their hands all over it and have a responsibility in that process. But as a head coach of a club that team that you're trying to, build from the bottom up, you've got to be all over everything, like as a head coach, you just need to. And I wouldn't allow it, as much as we'll probably have discussions about it. Chemis has been amazing. I'm sure he'll be open to making sure that everyone's happy there.
Mate, Chemis, from experience, mate, Willie needs to call the shots on who he has around him. Yeah. We spoke about it last week with the whole Brisbane thing. You need people around you trust.
Yeah.
And the NRL don't have your best interests if they're choosing your assistant coaches and recruitment and all that sort of shit.
With all due respect to the NRL too, you're good at what you do. So you stay in your lane.
Perfect.
It's like everything. We're talking about the journos before when journos trying to tell you how players are better off in certain positions or going down short sides and that. Just stick to what you know and what your experience has been. And I think put the egos aside. So let's get to the Bulldogs. They have not changed.
Rubbing his hands together.
They have not changed their team for this week. I'm not surprised by that. I'm not surprised by that. Are you?
No. I was probably more after the game. I was a little bit emotional about it. But I think I'm going to give Ciro a couple more weeks before I could maybe really turn the screw and give him a bit of a spray.
Well, can I ask you the question? Can you seriously see them winning a comp with Galvin at 7 and Burton
It's not
at
about.
6?
See, we've everyone's put Penrith are doing so well, right? That everyone's expectations are Penrith right now. So this is my emotions. Last week were like, what the fuck are they doing? They're this, that. They're loose in defence because I'm looking at a Penrith team that are just so bloody good. So they've just had an off week. The thing that annoys me, right? We'll get to it, right? The Ciro said in the presser, and he said on channel, and then I heard a different thing, that they needed they needed more energy. Birdo was struggling.
When they put Crichton at 5'8", you mean?
But then, so I heard two different excuses. One that Birdo got a knock, and one that he was blowing. A playmaker blowing, and then you put a centre into 5'8", like that doesn't make sense to me. And that was the red flag that I think, all right, you need to make a change. Something needs to change here. When Birdo scored those true tries, yes, he was standing at 6, but it showed that he is a runner of the ball. So, at the moment, I'm willing to give it a couple more weeks, and then
Can you answer?
You said that everyone's comparing everyone to Penrith. I just want to square one thing up.
Okay,
You're right.
square it
right?
up.
You're right. But they did play a Newcastle team without
The two best players.
yeah, but
Brown.
this is where I'm going to push back again.
and without Ponga, right?
Correct.
Away, at their home ground.
Correct.
Okay? So they had a full-strength team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're not playing Penrith. So, and they got beat by quite a big margin.
Yep.
So I think, this is, and it's the first time that I've seen the fans now start to turn. Like, the fans have supported Serrato and supported the Lachlan Galvin move stoically. They've criticised us on 360, these podcasts, other people, hammered us about, being critical of the move and, all the drama last year and all that. But now they're actually saying themselves, we supported this, but now it's got to change.
The Dogs turned off their comments when they announced
course
team
they did.
lists on socials.
Of course
I
they did.
messaged him last
He
night.
messaged me. So,
Yeah.
and it's not like we're right. No, and I just look at this now, and and I said it quite a few times. That now, I love the way that Galvin and Burton took the line on the weekend. Huge numbers, scoring tries, big bodies, all that.
Burton didn't take the line on until the second half.
No, he scored those tries. But the fact of the matter is that that's actually not their job. Like when we played at the Dogs, I was a runner. Like I was a runner of the ball, but I was also an organiser, and you've got to try and play to your strengths and combine with your 7 to create opportunities and to take advantage of vulnerabilities in your opposition. So that's actually the main role. Running is more a trigger for you to think run first, then pass for your own individual performance. In terms of strategy and execution, they are so far off the mark.
Can I just I'm not trying to embarrass you here, and I'm not trying to be the back in our day guy. Go back and watch 2004 highlights of Willie Tonga and Braith's connection and this whole get rid of the ball. You don't need shape. Tong would always say to Braith, or Braith would say to Tong, get me the ball, and it would be just, I don't need, kicks, or Rennie, Bobcat, I don't need you to run a block. Just zing a 15-metre pass, let Tong do his work. Let him get a one-on-one, let him make a break. It's not hard to get your fucking centre the ball. So don't give me this bullshit excuse, we just need to get Critter the ball. I'm not having that shit. It comes from your 5'8", where you just go, hey, Critter, fucking stand out there, get in that, the tram line, bang, hit him, let him do his work, and then that's how you get your best centre, the ball.
As a half, the key is to unlock the people around you and play to their strengths, right?
Fucking simple, mate.
They're overcomplicated. I don't like. How hard is it, right, for Birdo or Galvin to get? Have you ever seen this? I just want to ask you: have you ever seen them get the ball off a night and just zing it to their centre?
Never.
Have you ever seen an outball zing or an early fucking?
Never.
I've never seen it.
I've seen them
Right?
shift in transition and coming out and it works because defense lines are passive, but I've never seen just like a catch, boom.
Now I'm licking my lips if I've got kick out off my hip and I've got Crichton. Mate, I'm like, there is no excuses, right? So again, going back to that 2004, I knew what Tong's strengths were, right? Early ball, footwork, and a palm, right? Left foot, right foot, both feet, great palm, open space he delivered, right? So Tong, getting the ball early. If at the end of the day, if they rush, then I take the line on, or if they go eyes on Tong, then that's where it opens up for me. Bobcat, give him the ball early because he liked to play. And then he'd play short to Tong, or he'd go out the back for a fullback coming round, or he'd hit a hole. There was variations. That's the combinations you work on all preseason. That's what you do. On the other side, they got Preston. They did have Sherry. I'd rather Sherry than Tuala, right? But whatever. You got Preston. Preston hits a great line inside and outside on the 3-man. So, go play square, use Preston or run the ball yourself. Options out the back, early ball to, Sherry or Tuala, whatever. But you just don't see it. You don't see him swinging from an open to a short side, squaring up and going 3-on-2 early hands or cut out to the winger. Yes, you have seen it, but it's very rare. Now, these are the little things that just halves naturally do, and then Riccio, they asked me the question last night, what would you do if you're on the field and they said, mate, you move because we're going to put the centre at 5'8".
The Tong, you and Tong swapping, whether it's like the perfect, I was like,
mate,
it sounds worse than what it actually was because it was bad.
And that was Riccio trying to downplay because he's mates with Serraldo. And this is the thing with the Dogs. And this ain't a Dogs bashing.
No, but we want them to do well.
And the thing is, the Dogs are quick to sort of get on the defence and, contact Riccio and all them and try and put the spin out there, with, Serraldo goes on with Gus on 100% footy and all that. And it's just, what? Just coach the team and make the decisions and live by that. You know what I mean?
He's doing that, to be fair.
They're kind of doing these ones at the moment. They were the ones that made the call. If swallow your pride. If it's not the right call, just do it now and do it quick. Because they need a genuine 7. It's got Burton needs to be better, mind you. Galvin, you could put him at 13 or 6 and he'd play the same way, But Burton's he doesn't organise anything.
He's just waiting for the kick.
Or he does take his running game. Actually, it has been pretty good, but it's
been
just
good.
It's been good, but
this is another thing.
It's not what he's there for.
If you flip it, right, like with the amount of noise that's coming out around Birdo, take some pressure off him and put him in the centres. Otherwise, you got to listen to this all week. Or don't be so stubborn and just look. We can sit in our ivory towers and say this, that, but it's just hang on a minute. We have played the game. We see what's going on.
Well, mate, sorry. Say what you want, but that's the last time the Dogs have won the comp.
Yeah, true.
They go back and refer to everyone else. Well, this one here, that's the last time the Dogs have won the comp. So we've got a fair idea as to what they probably need or what they're not doing right.
But from a just to get away from the attack side of things, you have games where you flatten defence, right?
Yeah.
Don't you reckon? And they got sort of bullied through the middle. They were loose in defence. Critter was off. I can sit with that, right? They had a bad day. But the attack hasn't fucking changed. And then you've got a bloke who got sacked from a fucking Newcastle. I'm sorry to bring this up.
Well, the fans are blowing about this now,
Well,
too.
I don't get it. Did you see their attack at Newcastle last year?
Can I just say, JC, the Bulldogs fans requested him to do a video on the Dogs, and that was his major point. He goes, you've gone and got a coach who's been sacked and brought him in as your attacking
Ciro
coach.
done it? This is my point. And you know where I'm going with that. Has Ciro brought him in or someone else brought him in?
I don't know, mate.
You know where I'm going with that, right?
Yeah.
So Like, just fucking simplify shit.
He'll be at the Canterbury Leagues with his Happy Gilmore check again soon. This time getting back up the other.
I look at it.
I'm only joking.
I feel like I want it to be. I want it to be calculated and I want it to be measured today, but it's starting to really
the emotions
fucking
got the
piss.
better of you.
Yeah, piss me off.
I'd
that's
love to
'cause
see
that-
some emotion in their attack.
That's because it fucking means something to you.
It does.
Yeah, another thing too, Bailey Hayward. I've heard he's only had a couple of runs for like 16 metres.
There's
the
no
last few weeks or something.
creativity around the nine. So basically, I wanted to say, like, through the middle third of the field, there is fuck all creativity. So when they go to the edges, they're so easy to read. Did you see Bradman Best?
Yeah, man.
Like, he would just shut down Connor Tracy straight away. The week before, they do a hang play, right? Where Critter comes from the left side of the field, they deal with hang play. Bradman Best was jamming every time. What if
They got him on the inside. He was looking. He was doing that.
But Bradman Best was jamming Connor Tracy
Yeah.
every time. When you say send up from the coach's box or someone say all the halves go, hey, let's try a hang play because Bradman Best is jamming. I'm like, what am I fucking watching?
And just with Galvin and Burton, their strongest player right now is their run, right? So when they run, they make meters and they nearly make breaks, but then they don't, like talking about the nine. Then you don't have the nine should be first in there. And as soon as they run the ball, that's a trigger.
Trio.
Jump, play,
Outside
eyes
A,
up,
zinger.
gone. You don't see it.
Just outside A, zinger, boom, Crichton.
And
Simple.
Connor Tracy again, I love him too, and he's going really good. But
his efforts are just second to none.
But again, he's not creative.
But
And like that's
to create an attacking style that's going to be creative for him.
yes, that's right.
Yeah, so create.
They're out like because of the halves, the way they're playing, their style they're playing. Everyone else around them is null and void. Like it's like they're having to move Crichton into 5'8" for him to get the ball. Like
I'm not singling people out, right? But you may as well have fucking 10 players on the field. There's 3 blokes on there that I just think, what the fuck are you doing? You don't make any meters. Like, what are you doing on the field? What are you doing? Yeah. Like, honestly.
what are you doing, man?
What are you doing, cuz?
What's doing, Adam doing?
Look,
what are you Adam doing, man?
It's not a dog's bashing, but the emotion. I should have had me. What are you sponsored by?
Pharmaceuticals, mate. How can you forget?
Pharmaceuticals, yeah. I should have had one of yours before.
I'll give you one after this, actually.
Can I just say I said it round 1, so thanks for reading.
Let's move on from dogs, please.
You're up and down like a yo-yo. You've got your tail between your legs one week, and then you're flexing your muscles after they win one game. The Roosters. All right, I tell you what I want to do, though. I want to give a huge rap to Newcastle. Now, Newcastle...
Fuck yes.
Newcastle have been my... I would say the most impressive team, big improvers by a fair margin. Tigers are up there, especially after the Warriors win. But, from Vegas, to losing their 2 best players and the reaction to that, the players that have stepped up. Dylan Lucas, I fucking love. Like, that bloke's a machine. He's like a country boy,
Can you get
hard ass.
Yeah,
hits good lines, hard to tackle, goes hard in defence and puts shots on. And
my man had a blinder.
who's your man?
Dom Young.
Dom Young. Well, he's the best player in open space ever.
Go up. Can you just show me the back rows? Sorry, I should know their names.
He hasn't cut his hair
Mate,
yet either. He's still
Croker McEwen.
Croker McEwen.
Croker
I thought that was a name.
McEwen. Saulo.
McEwen's been good, hasn't he?
They bullied the shit out of them.
Mate, they're tough.
But they bullied the Dogs.
Phoenix Crossland looked like me
He
with
looked
his
like an
nose.
avatar. But
I had the same injuries. That was awful. It's a rank injury.
That just shows you how that's a well-coached side, right?
It's a
Look at that
well-coached
team.
And it's like the Warriors to a degree, and we'll get to that. But they'll shit on the weekend. But, they're well coached as well. But, like, the job he's done here with this, that means is they got connection there. It means that the preseason's actually been constructive and worked.
You know what? They've got strategy, not connection. Dogs have got connection. They don't have strategy.
Yeah, it's a good point. All right, Tigers leads me to the Tigers because if Newcastle are the most improved, the Tigers are not far behind. This was impressive. They were paying nearly $5, and this was the upset of the year. Only 4 rounds in, but it was.
Yeah, fair point.
I thought they stood no chance. Adam Douey, he got carried off last week, so I thought he wouldn't play. but he must have got a new hamstring on the way to New Zealand because
He grew
he
up.
must have grew one or bought one. I don't know, or had some Pepe Le Pews. But mate, he was untouchable. He played the best game of his life.
Mate, how can you be off the bone one week and just
Mate.
open space the next?
Bone marrow on your
Bone
steak.
broth.
Apparently, he did a 72-hour fast.
Mate, I reckon he was pulling our leg. Pardon the pun.
Pardon
The week before, but in saying that, he's been so good, and you know, I mentioned it last night. They've got connection and are being well coached. Benji's coaching them to their strengths. You know, that's the key to any coach. You've got to be versatile, and you've got to look at the players you've got, and you've got to capitalise on your players.
Can I just back you up on that? The players you've got, they've probably got the highest amount of Polynesian players in their team.
Yeah.
And Benji, Polynesian, Maori,
Yep.
they get it. And it's hard for me to explain, but he will know how to approach and get the best out of these young Polynesian players. I've heard it all week. They're having those scars as well, these kids from the past. So I thought about it yesterday. I thought there's a big factor in that. I think that Benji has a good relationship with these Pacifica players as well because he understands what sort of family environment they might be in terms of looking after your parents. So I think that's where
That helps, eh?
And it would help big
Do you
time.
think Luke Metcalf looked a little bit ginger?
Underdone for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, he came back early, which was always going to be expected to take a few weeks. It's a tough one, right? Because he's looking he's itching to get back, and he's got Boyd playing like Andrew Johns, and he's thinking, I want to get back into that team. Probably could have let, but you know what? It's good for him he just to get that week, even though it was a bit of a disaster last week. Unfortunately for the Warriors, the old Warriors turned up, and that's what they've been trying to get rid of. Yeah, they were terrible.
I just thought the Tigers were just like, they just met him in the middle because that's how Warriors have been playing. They've been like trying to out-bully you through the middle, and Tigers were like, nah, let's fucking go.
Yeah, but with all due respect, Rennie, like, we're giving the Tigers a rap, but like they're not like Penrith, Brisbane, where they've gone over to the Warriors' home ground and just blew them off the park. They were very good.
This is
but
how
the
close-
Warriors were shit.
The Warriors, yeah.
You
But
know?
I think Tigers forced that into them.
Yeah, I get that, and I don't want to downplay. It's not downplaying the Tigers, but the Warriors were nowhere near where they'd been, and I'm saying the old Warriors because I'm sure it's a.
Well,
they'd
they were in
they'd
the
hate
first
that,
10 minutes.
But when I'm watching it, I'm watching it going, oh no, this I didn't like. They were $1.10 to win it, you know. Like try and to lose, they got smashed as well. So I was like, man, this shouldn't happen. If you're a top 4 team and this is your levels and your standards, and they had no luai, traveling across the ditch, you know.
Jock Madden looked fucking unbelievable.
Well, exactly, right? And he's a good player.
So you think it was an attitude thing for the Warriors, or that you don't, not as much as, hey, we're probably underestimating this.
I think they
Tigers team.
underestimated them, yeah, but that's
I don't
attitude.
know, are we underestimating how good this Tigers team?
Well, maybe we all are, Rennie.
Yeah,
but we'll see that the next month.
Of course.
But, you know, from face value to me, under-strength team.
Because we look at names, though.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I know.
Yeah.
Like, well, I looked at the game the week before too. South didn't play that well, and they beat them, and it was a bit of a
Okay.
I'm looking
on form.
I'm looking on form.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Yeah.
And who they won? They won the week Leichhardt the week before, which they were very
They
good. In
smashed the
that.
Cowboys.
Yeah, maybe they are we don't know yet. It's early doors, but it was. I thought it was a concern for the Warriors, but I think the Warriors probably a good wake up call. You know, you can think you can jump the gun a bit and think
But
you're going
like I
better than what
said,
you are.
There's one team that's fucking consistent, and that's the only team. So everyone's sort of holding that standard, right?
They look.
We'll
I
get to
reckon
them.
Penrith looked the best of them.
We'll get to them. We'll hit them soon. Let's get to the Broncos. Broncos, have they turned the corner officially? They had that second half against Melbourne, and then on the weekend they were very good, and they just come out bouncing. But you could see they had that aura, that spring in their step, and that little bit of arrogance, and you could tell early they were on, and they maintained it for the game.
Do you think Brisbane need a challenge, like a real proper challenge to get up for games? Like Melbourne was the first, like, hey, remember last year we got up, they chased them down 14 points. Then you've got the Battle of Brisbane. It just feels like to me sometimes they need. It's like a. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. I think that's a fair point you make. I also think they're a very confidence-based team. Like they look absolutely hopeless until the second half of that Melbourne game, where they just got a try and got on a roll, momentum, and then got that belief, and they're like, we're invincible, and and then they took that into the game,
and that's giving them a rap. I'm just saying, like, some of these guys are like, hey, we need a hard game because I can't be bothered getting up for this because we are so fucking good. Give me a challenge so I can play well.
Yeah, but it's hard to do that and win a comp, and they did it last year.
Yeah,
but you can't do it again. Like you can't, you can't get. They had a lot of luck too in that run, and you said that.
Yeah.
Actually, you've had a bad week because you said they'd fall off a cliff.
Hang on. They've played one good half against Melbourne and fucking one good game.
That's what I'm telling you.
I'm starting to think they might have picked early.
No, hang on. I didn't say cliff. I said they slip.
What, a molehill? Off. Could you say
I said they'd have a slip.
Oh, just a slip.
A slip down the ladder to maybe, I said maybe sixth.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say cliff.
I'll have to check the...
Yeah, go back.
Well, they're
watch
at
the
10th at
tape.
the moment, so there you go.
They come in 10th. But we'll have to go to the video ref on that.
Roughies.
I think it's fair to say that they're going to be there again because when they're good, they're just too good. And when they're good, they'll beat most teams right now, probably apart from Penrith, so they're going to be right there. Not sure.
They play Penrith?
They play them in 2 weeks. Hang on. No, not them, sorry. That's the Dogs.
Anyway, go on.
All right, now to the Panthers. The Panthers, incredible, man. Like the Panthers, I'm watching the game against Para, and honest to God, Para did nothing wrong in the first 20 minutes, and they were down 18-0. Could have been less than 20 minutes. Yeah, no, it was. It was 12 minutes. They had done nothing wrong for 12 minutes, and they were down 18-0. And honestly, I thought Para looked good in attack. Obviously, they're nowhere near the level of Penrith, and they've got a lot to work on, Para. But I actually thought they looked sharp. I reckon they would have scored 2 or 3 on anyone else but Penrith in that first 15, 20 minutes, and Penrith's defence is too good. But then they just went bang, 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 and
every time they got down in their good ball, you knew they were going to score. They're
so good.
So Mitch Kenny said something during an interview, and it really stuck to mind. He said, we let the ball do the work. And I thought, fuck that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Letting the ball do the work. So they'll do that long cutout from Mitch Kenny. They'll eliminate 3 defenders straight off the bat. You've got Isaiah Yeo, and then boom, shape on the edge, pull you apart. Or they'll go through the middle. Like, they're just so fucking good.
It's like the opposite
They are
with the
so
Dogs.
good. So I met up with Eddie Payer, who's assistant coach at South, and he was giving me some data, because I wanted to understand what are they teaching these days in terms of the 6 agains, and how do you coach? How do you remember like you make an error and everyone would go 1 minute, like it's 1 minute, one set, what defend. So basically, the data is saying now, if you lose momentum, there is a 4 to 7 minute period of the game where it's called a death zone, where you just might have to defend. But if you can defend it, the majority of the time, the attacking team will make an error. And that is a huge psychological win. There's data around Penrith, because I was watching their defence as well. Their 2-man and 3-man defensive tackles are just as almost evenly split across the game. So they are able to win tackles with 2 men and 3 men, which is giving responsibility to the whole squad. Like, they are just so in sync defensively and in attack that it is ridiculous. And you always say, put one hand, give them the trophy now. Mate, I can't see a team. I can't see them losing a game this year.
Agree.
They always get 2 markers. Spoke to Jonah after the game, and it's like they always have 2 markers. If there's a man down, he just lays out. They get the 2 markers and they speed of the line, and they put pressure on you. They're happy to give the 6 again away, which is further to your point. They'll surrender the first couple of tackles of the set to make sure they regroup, get back on side and jam. And they've just, I look at the likes of Blaze Talangi, McLean or McLean. Is it McLean or McLean? McLean. And your mate, the Alamotti. And Jenkins, for example. Like, these guys, you've got Edwards is, we know what we're going to get from Edwards. He's a machine, all the same. But then you've got these guys that have just come into the system the last few years in Jenkins, Alamotti and McLean, and they look like representative players. Well, they are, but like they're just Talangi as well. They just go, these players, it's next man up, but they actually like go to another level, mate. It's like crazy.
Did you see like when they're getting ready for kick chase on the 4th, like Leota he won't be there for a carry, but he'll stand just 2 off the ruck and then he's got a pass in his game. He's giving the ball to Alamotti. I'm thinking this is a front rower who's standing there getting ready for kick chase but able to pass, letting the ball do the work. Like, they're fucking ridiculous.
Have you ever seen Papali'i play the way he is until he got back to Penrith?
Like, I saw glimpses of it in the past.
Yeah, but like every game.
Imagine, Talangi's just 6 and he's just saying
they're kind of the new Melbourne Storm, like.
They're more than the Storm.
Yeah, I know that, but the same sort of thing there.
Through that period, they have taken the Storm mould and just gone to another level.
I remember we first started BTFU. I said it 3 years ago. I said I get the feeling that they're going to be the next Melbourne Storm, and it's like they've perfected it. They're even doing it better.
Ivan Cleary doesn't get enough credit too, because he's such a quiet guy, and just quite boring with interviews and stuff. He doesn't get the credit for the systems that he has set up and consistently delivered, and with repetition continue to deliver.
It's Peter Wallace, his assistant coach as well.
They must be good, I'm telling you. Whoever they got in there with it that helps out. All right, let's get to a few teams that have question marks on them at the moment. We'll just touch these, but we'll start with the Dragons. We spoke about them last week, didn't we? We spoke about them most weeks because a lot of people are scared to talk about them. And we've kind of highlighted their issues, and they continue to nosedive, and we continue to be proven right. What have you?
It was a hard watch at your house.
It was a low game, wasn't it?
It was a hard watch. I mean, look, Titans. I'm not going to go in on the Titans. New coach. They don't.
Arama Howe, which you can I just quickly say, Arama Howe, is it?
Remember I told you about that kid?
You did. What a player.
Mate, he's a beast.
He's a shining light.
He's a beast. Get him on a long-term deal. Dragons. I don't even know where to start. They are just so bland. They are like in their attack, and everything they do is just boring. I'm just like, fuck, how am I watching this?
They're like the team new dogs.
At least you get something for to create. Again, I have an argument about their roster as well. Like, really, outside of Valentine Holmes, you've got an aging Gutho. You've got who else?
Yeah,
who's their strike? You got Moses Sully, who can turn up once every 10 weeks.
When he's on the field.
Sloan got dropped this week.
How?
I don't know. Arama how?
I don't even honestly their roster is Flano's been there for at least his 3rd year, so the roster is the roster that he's built there. He had Joan, like you talk about the halves. I mean, Kyle's got nothing at the moment, and Atkinson's not a halfback. We've said that from the start, so I don't even want to bore anyone by going on about that anymore. They got no backup halves because they lost them both last year because they didn't play them. And I actually I was thinking about that. Like, the Dragons were 3 from the first 6 last year, and they dropped Lockie and he never returned. They were 3 from 6, and they lost 2 of those games by 1 point. So they were 3 from 6, lost 2 of those games, and and he was never returned. But then Glover was in reserve grade all year. They won 10 from 11 games after that as a halves pairing, made the grand final. Neither of them got a start ever again, and they both had to leave. And now you go there and they're like, well, Flanagan, he's positioned Cole there, and you got King Tonga, and that's it. That Reed was great in the trials, and he'll get a run. But what I'm referring to here is it's their fault. It's their, they re-signed Shane. Like, I spoke to the CEO last year, and I was like bewildered with some of the shit going on there. And even his CEO, I was like, mate, I'm not going to go into details. It's private, but I was shocked they re-signed him. Like, no one was after him. The team was going at very average. There were players there that weren't happy, and the CEO comes in the new role, flexes his muscles, and thinks this is a great idea. You know, and now look at him. Like,
So this is
what's
third
wrong
year?
with you? And you look at their players, right? They've signed Kalao-Matangi. Kalao-Matangi is on 1.1 to 1.2 a year for 5 years. Found that out yesterday. I got to the bottom of what he's exactly on. So is he worth that?
Oh, he's playing in the halves.
My point is, right, now they're looking at Jareem Buller. Jareem Buller is going to command over $1 million.
Yeah.
So you're going to have Jareem Buller and Kalao-Matangi taking up $2.2 million of your cap a year. And if you get those two players, are you a premiership threat with the side they got?
No.
So this is the hole they're in. They've got a full rebuild ahead of them. Like,
They got two good back rowers.
Yeah.
Playing inconsistent.
and their pack has got like the young forwards. Like they got their pack has actually done some not probably ordinary on the weekend, but they've done some good stuff.
Poor Jaded Sewer.
The Couchmans and all that. Like who's the other kid? Go up. I don't think he played in the weekend.
The front
No,
row.
Hamish Stewart. I rate him as well.
I rate Leilua as well. Like you see them trying, but the errors that are coming into the game, the tension, it just looks like a miserable place. I don't know.
Does it look like a team that's happy?
No, not at all.
Does it look a bit like Manly?
Well, yeah, a week ago.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and like obviously Flano and I, we don't see eye to eye. But that's got nothing to do with that. I'm looking at, I've sort of haven't pulled the trigger on it until now, but that's
At the
my
end
thoughts.
of the day, right, I don't want to go into it too much more. You don't get beat by Titans.
Yeah, the Titans should have won one more, I thought. I actually thought they could have won one more. But anyway, what's going on with the Raiders, boys?
What do you reckon?
I think they'll still be okay.
Do you think they had like a very hard?
They've had a hard draw.
They had a hard. The
Yeah.
draw was hard. They went away. They went to New Zealand,
New Zealand.
and then they come back in the wet.
Who they played? Brookie. They won that one.
Yeah,
And then they got beat by Dogs
yeah.
in the wet.
Just like they.
And
Dogs just got
Sharkies,
up.
Sharkies need to be given credit here. They play like Trindle's playing like Joey at the moment. They're having a little bit.
inconsistent too, though.
They're very inconsistent.
Yeah.
They came with their backs against the wall after they got flogged at home.
Yeah. Simi Sasangi is an absolute.
I love him.
God.
I'm with you on that.
Actually, you know what? I forgot the sin bin. The sin bin fucked them. Like they scored 10, 12 points when Horsburgh gave that. What's he doing?
Mate,
Corey.
if you
what
want
are
to
you
get
doing,
anyone
brother?
for a professional foul, just run at Horsburgh.
So that's probably, but you see like Sasangi give that flick to
Mate,
Savage.
They've
right?
got it still. They've got speed and they've got skill. And they've been making too many errors. They haven't been building any pressure on oppositions. They did it over in New Zealand. They did it again against the Sharks.
Sanders, do you think was a little bit too early?
Well, no, he's all right. He's fine. He's
okay?
not playing bad. He's he's not.
He's behind a good pack.
When you're on the back foot like they
Yeah.
have been though,
Yeah.
their season will turn.
They're killing themselves, really.
Their season will turn, in my opinion.
Okay.
Quick touch on the Roosters, just for Aaron over here.
Yeah, I just
Why are they even here? Is it-
Actually, interesting. You always talk about completions. It was like the most completions by an NRL
Well,
team.
that's why I brought it up. I'm fucking playing halftime footy. I want to know how they went last week.
They completed 90-something%
Yeah, I
completion
heard that.
and didn't concede one penalty.
And they didn't concede
Not one penalty.
Not one penalty.
It's a record. Never happened. Over 90%.
So
and
Robbo
one
has not called Graham Ennisley during the week.
Mate,
and
they were
maybe Nick,
outstanding.
Maybe Nick rang him.
They were outstanding in that department, I've got to say. In the rain. They won't be able to ever do that again. But if it comes down to their discipline, they are too good of a team.
Hang on. Not one penalty.
Not one penalty. 6 agains. Not one penalty. What about that? Titans, mate, there was about 1,000 penalties in that game. How bad was that referee
Let's
as well?
go back there, please.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
It's depressing.
So the Roosters, are they back?
I need more evidence.
They're obviously
a
still
hard
going to
read.
take time. The other thing I
You
found
don't watch
interesting-
it though. Like, let's be honest. You don't watch it and go, "Oh, geez, Semi and DC are carving up. This is going to be like." The jury's still out.
I'll tell you the thing that I found interesting on that though, and everyone forgets it. I watched Kiri talk about when Cronk came. They were like 3-3 or 4-4 when it got to Anzac Day.
Kez is their halves coach too.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to put some, if I'm a halves coach, I'm saying give him time.
Give him time. So
when
you're saying he's lied.
he's taken over from Cooper, and they've had a bad start of the year, and he's saying, well, when Cooper came, it took us 8 weeks to get going. Remember?
Is he bagging it?
Well, I mean, I'd be saying the same thing
But like proof was in the pudding. They were 4-4.
with Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Cooper's
I'm not saying
DC is
yes,
not Cooper.
correct. I agree with that.
I'm heavy on the jury there. I think the Roosters, and I said, remember we sat here and I said, I don't see the hype in the Roosters.
Just quickly, what did you think of Savalo when he came on?
Yeah, he did a great job. Like,
Did he really? I didn't.
He just come like that's what he does,
Yeah.
And he's Mr. Reliable. I think the Roosters are going to make the finals easily, and they could possibly push for a top 4, but I don't see them competing with the top teams, with the Brisbanes and Panthers when they're in form. Like, they're nowhere near that.
No.
Not even close.
I think they can.
They get there? Yes.
I think with Brisbane, yes. Penrith, no.
But Brisbane, if Brisbane are at their best, I'm talking. Can they go play Brisbane and beat them? Yeah, because Brisbane are inconsistent at the moment. But if Brisbane turn up bouncing around and
Bit like the
like
Roosters
the finals
really,
last year, they're too good for Roosters.
Yeah.
But Roosters, they got time, and I think they'll get better as the year goes on. They'll be thereabouts, but they got a lot of room to make up if they're going to be trying to think they're going to win a premiership.
Yeah.
The Storm.
Yeah, that was bad. 3 tries in 6 minutes.
I didn't watch this game.
Yeah, I watched it.
Actually, just you talk about the Storm, the Cowboys. Rennie and I had a phone. We spoke about it on the phone.
Their shape's really good.
They are so good to watch in attack. If they just decided let's actually defend as well, and not be a touch footy team.
Again, they play that wide ball and then they run like a tight fan shape on the edges and just pull them apart. Like
So good
Warbrick
to
was in
watch.
no man's land a couple of times, but 3 tries in 6 minutes. I don't know what's missing from the Storm. Like I
that
can't
was
put
the
my
team
finger
that
on it.
breaks
Can
it.
you-
I just think that, again, I said that they were my team that would slide a bit this year. Like, you said Brizzy. Yes, they don't have the depth, right? So, they
Little
don't-
spine.
But that's not even an issue right now because they haven't had to use depth yet. But they don't have the depth. So I thought as the year went on, I was surprised with their first few games how good they were. Like, it kind of surprised me with how they got out of the blocks, especially that one against Para and, the week after they play. They won their first 2, didn't they?
Yeah, they
They've
did.
lost
Yeah.
the last couple. But the thing with them is, like, there is some scar tissue there, and because I watch him so intently because of Cameron and have done for years. I do see them, when they're kind of in front and bullying teams, they've got too much class, but I do see them freeze a little bit when the pressure's on in big games, and that's where they haven't been able to overcome that the last
to
few
ice it.
GFs and all that, and they don't have the star power and depth. So I knew it was going to be harder this year for them to do that. There is scar tissue with
A lot of errors too, uncharacteristic errors from Storm.
Yeah, but can I just say how good was Harry Grant's pass
a
from
great
dummy
pass. That was a sick pass, man. That's a highlight reel for the ages. That one, that was a beauty.
Absolute beauty.
All right, before we get to the Unibet preview, it's time for the Fireball quick fire questions.
Have you brushed me slow burn theory? No, it's all right.
What's your slow? Because
Let's go on. Let's do the fireball. It's discussion for another day.
no, you've brought it up now, so
No,
I'm sure the
Usually the fireball hot takes like a slow burn.
yeah, I know it's all a slow burn for Rennie, but
Oh wow, that was hard.
they get
I just burn the
sensitive.
candle
They
from
get
both ends.
sensitive, mate.
I still turn up.
What's your slow burn theory, Doctor?
No, I just, mate, this he just takes the piss. This is just a discussion point. This is like another.
Okay, Professor. The slow burn theory by Rennie Matua.
So the All Blacks, right?
Yeah.
So you've got 3 clubs struggling for halves. You've got the Woods situation at the Dogs. You've got Cade at Dragons. You've got Walsh and Manly, right? So the All Blacks, what they do.
So what you're talking about here is bloody young halves.
But the All Blacks would do it, right? So
Yeah.
they'd always have a succession plan for their number 10s, where they bring him in the 60th or the 70th minute of a test. Just so, and then by the time they'd get the starting 10 spot, they might have 30 games under their belt, right? The downside of doing that in you got a 6-man bench, so I reckon this is even more of an opportunity for clubs to try and, give these halves an opportunity. What are your thoughts? Why wouldn't you just,
I'm with you on that.
Because everyone says, oh, you can't put him in yet.
Why not?
Well, that's my...
No, I'm a bit like, I'm a bit torn on it because I was playing at a very young age and I probably played some of my best footy over the first few years.
We thought it's a different game.
Yeah, I know.
Not game, but there's a different mentality in the kids these
But then what they
days.
do is what the fear is, and I've spoke to Gus in depth about this, halves normally blossom 27, 28, 29. That's like when they really hit their straps, and you kind of go through periods as a half, but that's when you're at your best. The only exception of that is Cleary. Like Cleary was, well beyond even JT blossomed late in his career to that level, and even Joey, they were really always really good, but they actually peak at a certain, and there's stats around that. They've actually studied it, and he's got all the numbers because he's got that IT group at the Bulldogs, so he's done all the numbers. So it's actually the fear is now is like exposing them too early. A lot of young halves sometimes do come in, go great, hit a flat spot and don't ever return. Like
Benji was the opposite.
Yeah, but
there's few and far between. But what I'm saying is with
I'm just saying what their fear is. That's what I think they hold back.
This is where I could think, where the game, the forwards are so fit these days that you can burn a sub by putting a kid in the 65th, 70th minute. The game could already be won, or it could be we need to spark something. At least they're getting reps in.
Mate,
they're getting reps in though, Brave, is what I'm saying.
I agree with you. I know. I was about to get there.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, and I'd be at the very least. You look at all these players. I'd definitely be having Walsh, definitely him coming off the bench, like that worst case, because you want him to experience first grade too, the physicality of it. Watch the play, be out there and feel it. But what young, talented X Factor players bring is they bring energy to the older blokes. Like if you have a young bloke coming on and you're just going, wow, look at this kid, it gets you up and about, and you actually play off him. And what when you're a young kid and you're killing it in the lower grades, and I experienced this, and you get to first grade when I first got there, I thought it was easy, and this might sound a bit, but I thought it was easy because when you're in the lower grades, you don't have the talent around you that first graders have. So all of a sudden you go into first grade and you've got Willie Tonga, Andrew Ryan, Rennie Matua. Like you've got guns around you. You just do what your job has always been as a kid.
Yeah.
And you're going to excel, right? But if you don't get overawed by the occasion and play like, the kid coming through the grades, you're going to excel. And you'd be surprised with how amazing these kids can be. I do agree with that system of exposing these guys like, Cade Reed, I think, bring him off the bench and play him late in games, especially the way they're travelling. It's a bit harder with him because he's very small and not sure if you'd use him as a 9, right? So you just kind of...
You bring him in as a 7.
Yeah.
Take the other 7 off.
But that you can't do that with every team, but you could do it with them.
I'm just saying, the teams that are struggling, especially in the halves position, especially...
And Woods as well.
Woods, just go, hey, we're just going to put him on for the last 10 minutes. Someone's off.
You could move someone to 9 anyway and take care of what Hayward's
let them get
doing.
the reps in at 7.
Yeah.
Because when it becomes time for them to take over that position, they're not thrown to the wolves.
Yeah, I like it, Professor Matua.
No, that's an all black theory. It's not my theory.
Can I move on now? Is that all right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll sleep better tonight now too. That's good. All right, now for the fireball, quick fire questions, and
you're in on this one, Aaron.
This is a very interesting one. I've read these. They're a bit weird, but all right.
Well, fuck, it's different, mate. You come up with them.
You're very sensitive today, man.
Oh God.
I appreciate your work, Rennie. I appreciate the preparation you've put into these. Let's get into these ones. Okay, Rennie, extreme ironing world champ or competitive folding legend?
I'll be a folding legend.
Folding. I'm going to go the ironing world champ.
You like ironing? I fucking hate ironing.
It sucks.
It's the worst.
I don't really like
I'd rather
folding
fold.
I'd rather fold any day. Ironing's fucked.
Well, then why wouldn't you pick a folding
If you're world
legend?
champion, you get through it quicker.
Yeah.
That was a good thought,
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah.
All right, professional rock, paper, scissors player or thumb wrestling goat? Are you sweet?
Rock, paper, scissors.
I'll be a thumb wrestling goat.
I'm going rock, paper, scissors for sure. Thumb wrestling's rank. All right.
How often do you thumb
Oh,
wrestle?
how often do you do any of this shit? World's best clapper. What do you mean physically clapping? Perfect timing at events or elite wave starter at stadiums. Oh, you've lost the plot.
Oh, clapper.
Fuck, who cares? Oh, mate, I'll go wave starter just to...
Oh, this one.
All right, lawn bowls goat or curling gold medalist?
I love lawn bowls. Big lawn bowler.
Ready?
Yeah, I'd be a curling gold medalist.
Ooh, I'd go... Do they do lawn bowls at the Olympics?
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah.
No, lawn bowls, do they?
I
They
don't
do
know.
curling.
That's
Surely.
it.
I'd go
I'm
curling.
lawn
If
bowls.
I can win a gold medal at the Olympics, I'm
There you
going
go.
curling. I'd rather be a lawn bowls player, but
Yeah.
be elite. This is the best one. Be elite at hide and seek or elite at tag as an adult. You mean Oz tag?
No,
Like that
touch.
tag.
Tag,
Yeah, tag. Yeah.
Like the game. Remember the movie Tag? That was good.
Tag
Played
team.
in this fucking school where you get touch.
Oh,
Yeah, you remember the
gotcha.
movie? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Tips.
go tag.
Oh my
I'd
god.
lead- I'll go hide and seek.
I'll go hide and seek too, so I
Just
can
go
hide
missing.
from you. Fucking never to be seen after this shit. Wow. All right, let's get through this Unibet
fuck
preview. We'll be short and sharp with this because I think we've covered a lot of the in-depth analysis about the majority of these teams. So we'll be quick with this. Let's do it.
Just quickly, Penrith in the $3 now. Is this
Sorry, I forgot to cross to the Unibet specialist.
No, you're right. Just quickly, Penrith in the $3. I reckon it almost looks value.
Yeah, I
$3
know.
bucks?
Crazy to say, but it is.
Like $3 just seems right.
Who would have thought that?
Who would have thought that exactly? All right. Dolphins look to kick back at home, $1.35 against the Seagulls with the new interim coach.
Yeah,
$3.19.
I wish Foz all the best. And they're going to turn up and they're going to be physical and they're going to try and go through the front door more so than go around like they have been. There'll be a different style, different system for Manly, which will be effective early. The Dolphins have gone to another level the last couple of weeks. Katoa certainly has. The Hammer has. Farnworth and mate, he's so good.
Fuck, he's a gun.
Their combinations are starting to get better, and their forwards have been getting better with every week. I just can't see Manly beating them the way they're playing, and even looking man for man. And I expect them to be up and a lot better. But you know what? It wouldn't shock me because it's happened before where teams get up and just get that ugly win with a new coach. But I think going off form, I'm liking the Dolphins. I think the only way is up for them.
Yeah, I'll go Manly. It's statistically proven that an interim coach will win in his first game.
I reckon that's a toss too. But anyway. It has happened quite a bit, but that's just
I'm going Manly.
yeah, good.
All right, we go to the Good Friday clash. We have South Sydney Rabbitohs $1.85 against the uncreative Bulldogs.
Yeah, well, you
$2.
know what? I tipped the Bulldogs last week, and they made a fool of me. And I often do it because I'm trying to be loyal. I think I maybe get a bit too.
Yeah, you know what? We don't owe them anything, so fuck. We can
I'm
back
going
against
South,
them.
to be honest.
I can't back.
Well,
them.
how do you
can't
think this? Because obviously Dogs are meant to be the defensive side and South are quite an attacking
They
side.
had a day off,
defensively.
mate. That's all they had. They're still going to be defensive.
Like the Dogs will be tough, and they'll be ready defensively. But when it's
Yeah, but where's
This is
South
my-
have a lot more creators. Like
Yep.
you've got Gray, Mitchell, even White and Walker in terms of Murray, who are all ball like they're creators. The opportunities are going to come off those players. Now, if you go to the Dogs, if they are to win this game, it's going to be through just their defence and being physical and just going through the South team and just scoring tries off just being too strong and having too much possession and holding them out.
Yeah, the left edge for South worries me. You got Galvin, Tuala, and who's right swing? Montoya versus Latrell, Cody, and Fafita. That's worrying for me.
Yeah, and like the other edge with they got White and Campbell there now.
Well, they've put Sherry on the extended bench.
Oh yeah, they might pick him this week.
Yeah,
I reckon.
I reckon they'll put Critter over on Latrell.
Mate, I'd be just. They're going to put Critter back and Sherry back on the left side. That'd be funny, wouldn't it?
I can't, like.
You just think,
Would you be surprised?
Because they're so smart, the Dogs. Like, if you combine Soriato and Gus, they're so intelligent and smart. Are they outsmarting themselves?
I've seen it with Des Hasler.
Are they just confusing things the last 6 months, 8 months?
I've heard you say it. Less is more.
Fuck.
Stop overthinking.
I'm going South.
There's a difference between.
Randy, who are you tipping, South or Dogs?
I've got to go with South. I just don't see enough points in them.
Could get the Dogs home.
But
all right.
Panthers.
Yes, Panthers
Panthers.
$1.42 against Melbourne Storm, $2.88. Can we see the Storm actually fight back here?
I can't tip Storm.
No.
I can't. Like, Panthers are just so good. And
is that a Combank? Sorry, Az?
there's your mate Jason calling.
Yeah.
Huh?
Is that at Combank? Yes, it is at Combank. Yeah, Panthers move on. Here's the battle of the coaches. We've got Flanagan's $2.16 down at Jubilee against Cowboys $1.70. Can Cowboys put...
Well, Dragons are due and Cowboys are inconsistent. Like,
They just beat Melbourne.
yeah, but they're inconsistent.
Yeah.
They've won 2 in a row.
They're inconsistent.
It's round 4.
Well, fucking tip the Cowboys then, champ. If that's what you're getting at.
50-50.
Mate, their coach is nearly sacked. They've fucking been a mess
They've won their
for
last
6
2.
months and you're saying they're consistent.
Well, it's a new season.
You know
he was
what?
gone 2 weeks ago.
I don't think the coach should be gone here just yet.
Well, he's
personally.
not going to be. They've just won 2 in a row.
There you go.
It's giving him an extra 2 months, I reckon, of freedom. At
So
least.
if Cowboys come out and beat them at Oakey Jubilee, it's what happens.
Whoa.
Mate,
We're having an
the
emergency
stakes will be out.
podcast
The
on
stakes will
Sunday.
be out.
What day is this game? Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be having an emergency podcast.
Well, I think we need to do it. We need to get on Instagram Live.
They
with
have
JC.
everything to play for. I've got a question. King Tonga plays well. Do they bring Cole back in the week after?
100%. It's not even a question.
No, that'd be the biggest test for Flanagan in his career.
Mate, look, I don't know what I...
Nepotism FC.
Look, and I say this respectfully, they're like for me.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Like King Tonga ain't that fucking much
but that's
of an
not my
X
point.
factor.
His point
But
is
that's
if he
my
has a
point.
point.
My point is they're like for like, so he brings
King
Flanagan back.
Tonga is way more creative. Way more.
I haven't seen much.
He hasn't played this year, but he's.
It's
It's hard to be creative. It's hard to be creative off the bench. But
I saw 15 minutes last week.
yeah, no, he wasn't good last week, but they were all shit. Next. Oh, who are we going? Did we tip anyone?
Yeah, who's tipping?
I'm going Cowboys.
I'm
They're
gonna
inconsistent.
I'm gonna tip the Dragon. I'm gonna tip the Dragons.
I'm going the inconsistent Cowboys. They've won the
Just 'cause
last
they-
2.
Yeah. All right, we've got the Battle of Queensland. We've got the Titans $4.30 against the Broncos $1.22.
Yeah, Broncos.
Broncos.
I'm scared of that game.
That is a scary game, isn't it?
Oh, they got to hope the Broncos can get ahead of themselves or just a little bit
Just not too
complacent.
It's not a challenge.
Complacent.
They'll get complacent.
Yeah, they could.
go,
They could.
Fuck, this ain't a challenge.
Going
just-
off what you said and
Yeah.
them
They played
needing
it-
a challenge, who knows?
They played at the competition. All right, we've got the Sharks back at home after they won $1.57 against Rennie's Warriors, $2.41.
This is another hard one.
I actually, I don't know why. I think Metcalf
Warriors?
second week in. I think they'll be pretty disappointed with that last week. The Warriors and again, Sharks are really good against the Raiders, but they've been I don't know
Inconsistent?
Like against the good teams, they've been a bit vulnerable. They should win easy, the Sharks, but I'm actually going to go an upset here. I'm going to say the Warriors. The Warriors coming back after last week. With Metcalf back second week in, I think they can cause an upset. The Dolphins did it only 2 weeks ago in Cronulla, so why couldn't the Warriors do that?
I'm going to go Sharks. I think I thought Toby Rudolph started to go. I think they really front-loaded well with their forward pack last week. Fanua Blake, I don't know if he looks a little bit injured or not, but he's just not really bending the line as much as he used to or last year. Why'd you giggle?
No, was it him that you needed to score?
Fuck
Try?
me, Fanua Blake. I'm off here.
He's back at Fanua Blake because he had him in his last leg of the multi on the weekend.
It cost me $2.5 grand, Fanua. Blake. Anyway,
score a try, mate.
I think their back rows are outstanding. Trindle's playing well.
Yep.
Nico's doing what he needs to do. Will Kennedy. I think Shark Park, the advantage of playing at home will get them the win.
Yep.
All right. We move on to Newcastle Knights coming off a big win at home, $2.39 against the Raiders. Backs against the wall, $1.58.
This is my bet of the round.
How hard is tipping?
It's my bet of the round. I'm going Newcastle.
Mate.
Oh, he's sticking with them.
You don't think the bubble's going to...
What's the front rower's name again? For Newcastle? Fuck.
Lucas?
Saifidi.
Saifidi, mate. He looked like the origin Saifidi.
Yeah, no, he has. He has, mate.
You know, he's really leading those young back rowers to get on the back of me.
Mate, they're going to be hard to beat, Newcastle.
Well,
honestly,
$2.39.
That's good value. I'm going to go the Raiders, but only just on trust that they're going to get back to their best this week. That's the only thing I'm taking. If I'm going off form, I'm going with you. But I'm just going to put a bit of faith in them to really turn it around this week. And I think Sticky will get him in the trenches. And the Knights, even though they're going great, they haven't had a team really put them to the sword, like really amp it up and take it to that next level in terms of semi-final style feel. And the Raiders can do that if they control the ball on a fast track.
Who did they? Oh, Manly, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the Raiders.
They played a shit Manly, a shit Dogs.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And they played Cowboys in the first round.
Yes,
you
know what I mean?
So they haven't been really challenged in that middle third of the field.
I did hear that. Well, I've looked at the weather forecast because I was thinking about going.
Tim Bailey.
I was thinking about going camping. So, if it rains, that's good for Newcastle up there, I reckon. So they'll be hoping it rains, or else if it's dry, I'm definitely Raiders.
All right, and then we head to Combank Stadium. We have the Eels at $1.72, West Tigers $2.13.
This should be a cracker. I actually think Para are going better than they look. And I think Melbourne, the Penrith game, if you look past how good Penrith were and you actually break down Parramatta and the way they looked in attack and their setup and their way they get from one side of the field to the other, and a couple of real missed opportunities and opportunities to score points. I think, coming up against the Tigers, who aren't Penrith, obviously, I think they can really put on if they control the ball, I can see them probably peaking here or playing their best performance.
That was the most amount of points put on Penrith this season. Yeah,
you got to look past it all. Look at their setup. Look at the way they've been playing. Mitch to Jonah to Iongi's out.
They've got great shape.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
They're just not able to defend it with off the back of errors.
Yeah. And that's going to take time. It should be a high scoring game. I just remembered Iongi's out, which really
is that because that stupid video. Or was it
he
had
syndesmosis.
Oh, he got syndesmosis. Oh, shit.
A hip drop. And,
that's right.
Mate, the other with that. So, Mitch Kenny hip drops him. He's out for 8 weeks because Parra didn't.
8 weeks.
He's out for 8 weeks. Remember when the ACL with Couchman the week before and he got 4 weeks. So, Kenny only got 1 week for suspension. But Parra didn't submit the injury report. So... They didn't know because if you submit the injury report, then the NRL see that, you get punished more severely.
So, but is that more of a para fuck up, or is that Rolsey being a man and saying that was a complete accident?
Don't know. It could be either one, Rennie. It's a fair point you make. But in saying that, it probably got Mitch Kenny off a couple more weeks. Saved him, I reckon. Because I haven't said, there's nothing in it. It's a hip drop. And he's got a syndesmosis. He's out for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You can't defend that. This is what it is. Anyway, I'm going to go Para. I love the Tigers. I talked them up at the start of this podcast, and I do believe in them.
Tigers.
I just feel like the Para will peak this week.
I love their enthusiasm. I love their offloading. I just think they're riding this wave at the moment. Yeah. I'm going to go Tigers.
What's your bet of the round, Braith?
I'm low in confidence. I haven't been able to fire a shot this year. It's been diabolical. Last year I was undefeated by now. I'm coming last.
First, you're last.
I'm gonna go. Shit. Go up. Is there more games, or am I just?
No.
You know what? I'll just go the Warriors. I don't like that. That's a big risk.
It's a hard round, man.
It is a very hard round.
I don't have to be anywhere.
I'll go Parramatta covering the start. There you go. So I think it's 2.5 against the Tigers. I'll go Parramatta to win by whatever the start is there, and it's only low. So I think they'll cover it and beat the Tigers.
2.5, yeah.
What was my one? The Knights, wasn't it?
At least I've got all weekend to be wrong.
You're tipping the Knights.
I'm not wrong until Monday.
And I
Can't wait.
And just for all
I see it all weekend.
For all our Bulldogs fans out there, just have a look down at the wide shot. That's probably the last one you'll see for a long time.
Just don't ever forget it, all right?
Trust me, no one will, right?
What would we know?
What would we know?
Rennie, what's your tip?
He just said the Knights.
Newcastle.
He
Oh,
said
did
the
you?
Knights.
Are you
Straight
sweet?
out.
Are you sweet?
I'm sweet, no. All right, thank you. That's it for the 180 podcast. We'll see you next week.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.